Yeah, so it's same experience with the Dawa Mafia. Same experience, especially starting after 2016, the end of 2016, because that's when I really started pushing back on Linda Sarsour. If you remember Linda Sarsour, the leader of the Women's March, going to Washington, D.C., holding hands with all these LGBT activist groups, like the worst of the worst, Jewish groups as well, standing hand in hand with a bunch of rabbis and trans activists and feminists marching against Trump or marching for immigration, marching for LGBT rights. And I came out and I said, what are you doing, Linda Sarsour? Like, you claim to be a Muslim, but this is going so clear cut against Islamic principles. This is unacceptable. You're supporting abortion, like you're demanding that women have reproductive rights in the sense of cutting out the baby whenever they want. Like, this is not an Islamic position. I'm becoming more and more vocal against Linda Sarsour because she was being platformed and really promoted and praised by the Masajid, by the Islamic conferences. She was sitting on these panels with the shuyukh, with Yasser Qadi, Omar Suleiman, Abdul Nasser Jangda, these figures who were platforming her as some kind of like the model for Muslim women. Like Muslim women look at Linda Sarsour, and Muslim men look at Linda Sarsour because she's a leader for you too. She's a leader for you too, misogynist. Yeah, you as a man, Muslim man, can have a woman as your leader. And this entire concept of what it means to be a Muslim woman was symbolized by Linda Sarsour, and she was being shoved down the community's throat. And I was ringing the alarm. I was like, this is a big problem. And then the reality hit me. That's when I was blacklisted. Linda Sarsour herself was telling Yaqeen Institute, and this is what I've talked about in the past. I was the first employee to be hired at Yaqeen Institute. Yas Queen's Institute. I was the first person as their director of research. They recruited me. Omar Suleiman personally recruited me to join Yaqeen Institute in 2016. And I talked about different aspects of that story, but it was recruitment on the basis of recommendation from Yasser Qadi to Omar Suleiman. So Omar Suleiman direct messaged me on Twitter and said, we need to talk. And we talked and he gave me this offer. At that time, again, I was under this naive impression. That, well, they don't know. Like, they don't know the extent of the problem with feminism and liberalism. I can go and educate them. I can go help them understand so they can see the manifest reality of how this is so damaging to the Muslim community to start adopting these liberal positions and watering down Islam. And little did I know that their intention was to bring me into their fold and mold me in their image, influence me in their image to adopt their positions and basically be a talented member of their team. That's what they wanted to do. And I tried to get guarantees from them because, at that time, even at that time, I was controversial. I said, look, I'll join Yaqeen. I'll leave my job because I was in the corporate world at that time. I'll leave and I'll come join Yaqeen. I'll move across the country to join your organization, and this opportunity to put really high-level research, critiques of these systems through your organization, but you can't censor me outside of my activities with the organization. So if I want to be posting on my Facebook page or on Twitter and I'm critiquing whatever, you can't tell me not to do that. You have to give me that guarantee that I'll be able to say what I want, as long as it's Islamic, as long as it's in line with Islam. But and I asked them, don't you know that I have these views? I have this critique of feminism. I have these critiques of liberalism. You know my positions, right? And I was literally at Omar Suleiman's house. I was in his office and he gave a chuckle. He gave a chuckle when I asked him that. And he said, we've done our research. Like, we know you better than the FBI. Like, that's what he literally said. Like, we've looked into you. We've investigated you. So okay, well, if you're going to give me that guarantee, and literally at his house. And then within months, this was in the summer of 2016, and then the organization was launched. Yaqeen was launched in around September and October, and then there was the presidential election in November. Trump won the election. Trump beat Hillary to everyone's surprise, and immediately, even before then, Yaqeen was starting to pressure me and saying, "Well, Daniel, we don't really see why you should be posting this on your Facebook. What posts are you talking about? Like posting against Heart Women and Girls? Like Heart Women and Girls is this feminist, pro-LGBT group of Muslims, quote unquote, who are trying to infiltrate the Masajid to push liberalism and feminism and LGBT. Like, explicitly, like that's their goal. And I was criticizing, I was exposing, like, why is this organization being welcomed at our mosques? This is not Islam. This is anti-Islam. And we need to stop this. So I was putting out these kinds of posts, this content on Facebook. And then Omar Suleiman says that, Daniel, I don't know, is this really necessary? Like, is this really necessary? And he tried to mediate between me and the head of Heart at that time, Heart Women and Girls, was Summer Kokeb, like this very liberal, degenerate woman in Chicago, Summer Kokeb. And I was at first surprised, like, well, how is Summer Kokab know you? Like, why do you have her number, and why are, it seemed to be have a good relationship there where she can call you and complain about me? Because that's what she was doing. She was saying that, hey, Omar Suleiman, your employee at Yaqeen is criticizing us. What's that about? do you approve of this? And I was thinking to myself, like, Omar Suleiman, aren't you like don't you believe in Orthodox Islam? Like, how can you approve? Like, why aren't you not immediately on my side? Why are you not immediately on the side of, a conservative traditional Muslim? So that was like a red flag that went off in my mind. And we eventually had that call. We had that call with Samar Kokab, and it turned out to be a debate moderated by Omar Suleiman on the phone there. And, I was, after I realized that, okay, what this is really about is that you're just trying to, shut down my critique. You're trying to make me stop talking about them, stop raising the red flag about them. That's what this is really about. And I'm not going for it. I'm not gonna, play along to get along. That's really what my entire few months, like I was only there for 3 months before they suspended me. And they said that, well, Daniel, if you're going to continue to write on these issues and criticize Heart Women and Girls, Linda Sarsour, you're going to continue to criticize like Khizr Khan, this Democratic shill for the Democratic Party, who was campaigning for Hillary Clinton on the basis that his son was in the Iraq war killing Muslims. And then the Muslim community is supposed to be so proud of Khizr Khan because he's a Pakistani Muslim and he's being platformed by the Democratic Party, and Hillary Clinton's campaign is taking him on a tour. And we should get in line behind that. I was speaking out against that. I was very vociferously speaking out against that. Yaqeen had a problem with that. Omar Suleiman had a problem with that. And they said that, oh, you can't be writing about it. So I said, what about the guarantee that you gave me? What about the guarantee? Because this stuff that I'm posting, this content is not on Yaqeen's platform. This is on my personal platform. And you gave me the guarantee that that I could continue to write without being censored or impeded by Yaqeen. And Omar Suleiman, I'll never forget what he said. He said, well, we thought you'd change. We thought you'd change. So imagine, like, their word is not even good, worth the air that it's spoken into. It's not even worth the paper that it's written on. Like, so yeah, so that really revealed it all. That revealed it, that their whole plan is to groom me, to influence me, to play along like Daniel. And they were giving me very strong hints that, hey, Daniel, I don't see the wisdom of tweeting at Linda Sarsour. Omar Suleiman was at my house. Like, I'd invited him for dinner. Some of the other Yaqeen board members, I invited them. They were at my house. And I remember Omar Suleiman was on his phone and his face turned black. We were sitting there. He was on the couch and his face turned black. And then he, said, Daniel, did you tweet at Linda? Literally, that's what he said. I was like, yeah, I did. I was critical of the comments that she made about abortion. This was in 2016 maybe it was November, December 2016. And then he said, well, why couldn't you just talk to her? It's like, I don't know her personally. Like, she's a public figure. She has like all these followers. Like, and my comments at that point were pretty mild. Like, I hadn't gone full blown, Daniel Haqiqatjou. I hadn't, reached my full form yet. It was pretty polite as far as it goes relatively. I said, like, Linda, how can you support a pro-abortion position as a Muslim? Like, that was the tweet. Like, it was just one sentence. And then Omar Suleiman says, like, would you be willing to delete this? I'll set up a meeting. You can talk to her. Maybe you can delete this and talk to her instead. Again, like the red flag, I was thinking, like, how are you not taking my side on this? Like, this is abortion. How are you not taking my side on this? I thought we were all like Muslims here. I thought we were all not only Muslims, but you're an imam. Like, you present this image of yourself as a traditional imam, or you wear traditionalist Muslim clothing. You're citing Quran and Hadith, and you claim to care so much, but you're going to take Linda Sarsour's side on such an issue. So yeah, I eventually deleted that tweet. No conversation ended up happening where could debate Linda Sarsour on the phone or whatever. Yeah, and then eventually they gave that kind of, they said, yeah, sorry, Daniel. We're getting too many complaints from the women. We're getting too many complaints from Linda Sarsour and these activists, people like Dalia Mugahed. We're getting too many complaints. So we can't. At first they said, just, you can't post anymore on these topics. I said, well, what about your guarantees? And they said what they said. Then they ramped it up and they said, okay, even if you don't write about these topics, it's still not enough. It's still not enough. And, you can continue to be at Yaqeen, but you can continue to work with us, but not in a public facing role. Said no thanks. Said no thanks to that. So yeah, this is the type. And then after that, then they engaged in this extensive campaign to block me. And their board members, people like Ashraf Motiwala, who's still affiliated with them, I suppose, like actively goes and calls people to block them from hosting me. So they continue to do this. They continue to do this and have this kind of activity. You can't imagine how many events have been organized, like organized events at a venue. And then these people call and they spread rumors and they say, oh, did you know that Daniel is actually ISIS? Daniel is actually an ISIS operative, or did you know that like just complete lies to get the board members at the masjid or the venue to cancel the event. So yeah, this is the dawah mafia. And it's, if they do it to me, they'll do it to anyone who is going to question their positions, their views, their methods, their adoption of feminism and liberalism. So this is the kind of politics that are happening behind the scenes. And all you can see on the public side is Daniel is criticizing these innocent imams. What did Omar Suleiman ever do? What did Sohaib Webb ever do? What did Yasser Qadi ever do? Like, why is Daniel so aggressive? What you don't see is that they're behind the scenes doing all of this. They're behind the scenes working very hard and very aggressively, using all kinds of dishonest tactics to get me banned and get me canceled. You don't see that. You're not aware of that.